From the Newstalk ZB newsroom, this is Newsfix.
In this update, the Breast Cancer Foundation celebrating the proposed funding of a game-changing drug. Pharmac has opened public consultation to propose funding for NO2, which treats for HER2-positive metastatic breast cancer. Its clinical trials have seen the risk of death reduced by a third and boosted overall time cancer was held at bay to over 2 years. Chief Executive Arlene Rayner says while it won't entirely reduce the financial burden, it will have significant long-term benefits. She says the drug will mean breast cancer can become a chronic condition for advanced patients rather than one they die from. The start of spring has brought more snowfall road warnings for drivers in the South Island. All the main roads are affected, including Porters, Haast and Milford. Met Services Claire O'Connor says we may see more of these warnings in the coming weeks. She says combinations of westerlies and cold southerly air can produce a lot of snow, especially in that central South Island area. Northlanders are being asked to do their bit to bring a secretive wetland bird back from the brink of extinction. The hard-to-find Australasian bitterns likely nesting on private land. With estimates of fewer than 1,000 left in the country, the biggest threats have been drainage and destruction of their habitat, predation and water sedimentation. Kiwi Coast Coordinator Nairi Sullivan says they're asking landowners to check if the bird's on their property.
This monitoring is sort of just helping people find out more about what they've got and if the effort they're putting in to look after it is making a difference.
The United States has imposed new sanctions against Russian state broadcaster RT. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has accused the outlet of being a de facto intelligence arm for Russia and is part of a network of state-backed outlets undermining U.S. democracy. The U.S. has already indicted 2 RT employees for allegedly attempting to interfere in the upcoming presidential election. Mr. Blinken says RT poses cyber capability threats and is engaged in covert information and influence operations and military procurement. That's news. In sport, New Zealand football CEO Andrew Pragnell won't say whether he tried to persuade Jitka Klimkova to stay as Football Ferns coach. Klimkova announced she's standing down from the role despite being contracted through until 2027. It follows a workplace investigation earlier this year in which she was ultimately cleared, though she did not lead the side at the Olympics in Paris. Pragnell says Klimkova has left the team in a better place.
I think that ultimately, these things should come from the heart. She's a good person. She weighed it up. I think she's given her all, 100%.
Bay of Plenty's temporarily moved up to second on the NPC ladder with a 33-20 win over Taranaki and Tauranga. New Zealand's 1-0 down in the Davis Cup World Group 2 tennis tie with Luxembourg in Palmerston North. That's sport. I'm Joe Gilfillan.
For more news, listen to Newstalk ZB live on iHeartRadio.